Hi, you're watching Taste of Ulster TV. Now I've got a recipe that you will go nuts for. Today we're cooking with one of my favourite ingredients, keen nut butter. We're making a beautiful fruit and nut bar. We've got lots of dried fruits here. You can choose whatever ones you like. My favourite ones are in here. We've got beautiful big dates. We've got chewy banana. There's also some tart cherries and some apricot. Just roughly chop them up, because these are going to be cut into bars in the end of the day, so it won't really matter too much if they're not perfect. Stick it all into our bowl and just set it over to the side. Now, what would a nut bar be without nuts? What I've got here is a mixture of peanuts, cashew nuts and pecan nuts. All I've done is I've roasted them in the oven just for about 10 minutes at about 180. It brings out the flavour. Finally, what I've got here is just some popcorn, plain popcorn. And on the bottom half, I've got some puffed rice cereal. This is just going to add a little bit of lightness to it and another texture just to work with. So we're just going to mix them together. And look, you can see all the different colours coming together. So already you can tell there's going to be a lot going on with this nut bar. That's our dry mix. The next thing to do is to get our wet mix. Okay, so for the wet mix, we've got the honey and a little bit of butter in the pan there. So next is to add the keen nut. This is one of my favourite ingredients to work with, and I use it quite a lot, both at home and in the restaurant. So about 100 grams of it. Okay, so that just needs to go into the heat. Just make sure it's on a low heat. If it's over too high heat, you'll run the risk of it burning. Just keep stirring it as you go. That way, everything gets heated evenly. Okay, so as you can see, it's starting to melt together. It's going to get a bit looser. You'll know that this is ready when the butter is completely melted. And there you can see that sort of pouring consistency. It's leaving a nice trail when it's coming off the spoon. That means it's ready to go. So we're going to pour that straight onto our dry ingredient mix. And just mix it all together. I wouldn't advise putting your hands in at this point because that's going to be pretty hot. So you can see as you're mixing it that all the colours are coming up. Everything's getting coated in that lovely butter and honey and almond butter mix. So once everything's ready, you get your tin. I've lined it with a bit of baking paper there. We're just going to pour that in. So just going to pour that into the tin. Then we're going to use the back of the spatula, press down into it. And this is just going to compact everything together just to make sure that everything is going to come out as one bar. If you don't push it down, you have the risk of it sort of crumbling apart a bit more. Might not be the worst thing in the world, but when you're trying to portion it out nicely. Okay, so that's been in the oven for about 10 minutes. What we're going to do now is just put it into the fridge to cool down before we slice it. That is cooled down nicely. So all we're going to do now is lift it out and cut it, and you can eat these straight away. So, just lift it out. You can cut this into whatever size you want. Big portions, big people. Little portions, little people. Okay, and I'm just going to put these straight onto a serving plate. Okay, so there we have it. Those are my keen nut butter fruit bars. Perfect little bars, really easy to make, and the recipe's on the website if you want to have a go. Good luck.